We welcome you to UTSUNOMIYA for the start of the 2023-24 B.LEAGUE playoffs. In Game 1 of this quarter-final, UTSUNOMIYA BREX welcome the CHIBA Jets, a matchup of two of the last three champions of Japan. Yes, here at the BREX Arena, this best-of-3 series gets underway to decide who makes the last four of the country's top-tier competition. Two teams with a lot of past success and entwined history. At least one of these clubs has made the finals in all 6 completed seasons of the B-League so far. Between them, they've played in 7 finals, winning 3 championships, one of which came for the Jets when they beat BREX in the final in 2021. BREX have their home fans behind them for this one, and they retaliated to that previous championship game or championship series meeting by winning their second title a year later. These fans hoping to watch their team win a 3rd championship this season to become the out-and-out most successful side in the history of this competition. Now here's a look at the post-season bracket. All 8 of these teams have come through a grueling 60-game regular season to get here. 24 teams to start the season, reduced now to 8. This quarter-final is the second to get underway. The Golden Kings, the defending B-League champions, they've just recently got underway in their Game 1 against Alvark Tokyo, who are the only previous team to successfully defend the title, doing so back in 2019. The other 2 quarter-finals begin tomorrow, when we'll also have Game 2 of the other 2 series that are starting today. Tokyo and BREX, the most successful clubs in the history of this young competition, both winning 2 championships. 4 previous meetings between these 2 clubs this season, all of them have been won by BREX. They'll have the home court advantage here in this quarter-final series. In fact, they've won each of those previous 4 meetings this season by double figures, including 2 a couple of weeks ago. In the last one, they actually shot the lower field goal percentages of the 2 teams, but they dominated the possession categories with a +4 in offensive rebounds and 4 fewer turnovers, turning those advantages into 8 extra second chance points and 9 extra points off turnovers to win it by 11. In all other meetings, though, they've shot better than CHIBA, both inside and out, and won those 3 other meetings by 27, 23 and 13. So it would really have to be a big upset here for CHIBA, led by John Patrick, to win Game 1 of this quarter-final series. They have been improving through the course of the campaign, though. It's been a disrupted campaign for CHIBA Jets after a record-setting season last season. Who knows, they might find their best form down the final stretch. They required a wild card to make the playoffs, only finishing 35 and 25 in the regular season after going a record 53 and 7 last season. In late November, they lost a star player in Justin Matz, and there's been lots of playing staff turnover. Chris Smith, with the team last season, returned only a couple of months ago to offer a boost, but last season's League Defensive Player of the Year, Shooter Hara, has had an injury-hit campaign as well. CHIBA will hope all of the pieces of the puzzle click into place right in time for the postseason. As for UTSUNOMIYA BREX, they've come close to that record mark set by CHIBA Jets last season. For them, a remarkable turnaround in the opposite direction. Missed out on the playoffs for the first time last season, finishing with only a 32 and 28 record. This season, they produced the best record of all teams in the regular season, and one of the best ever at 51 and 9, just 2 defeats more than that record-setting CHIBA season last season. UTSUNOMIYA with a new club record, 21 straight wins in this season as well. DJ Newbill is one of their standout stars, former college star at Penn State. He's playing a team-high 28.5 minutes a game, leading the side averaging 16.3 points, 4.7 assists and 1.3 steals, as well as adding 4.9 rebounds a game. He signed this season after 3 years in Osaka. Before that was Defensive Player of the Year in the Australian League back in 2020. Huge acquisition. He's fit right in. See the CHIBA Jets roster as well. They are wearing their red on the road here tonight. There's a few specks of red amongst the sea of yellow. This BREX arena is packed to the rafters. Yuki Togashi, their star point guards, and this year's East Asia Super League Finals MVP. As CHIBA Jets won the second edition of that competition, take their first crown. East Asia Super League. He scored 24 points in the final, also made the team of the tournament. In the B.LEAGUE, he's playing 32 minutes a game, averaging team highs of 18 points and 5.4 assists a game, while making 3.1 three-pointers a game at 31% accuracy. Fans are certainly going to play a big part. There you go. There's some support for the Jets in the house on the road here in UTSUNOMIYA as well. The starting five for the travelling team. Xavier Cooks, the Australian, a huge player for them, has improved a lot the second half of the season, having taken a little while to slot into the system. Sean Gio, 23-year-old, is in that starting lineup as well. Shooter Hara, the Defensive Player of the Year last season. And the American John Mooney, who starts at centre. He's averaging 31.5 minutes a game for John Patrick's team. He was in the East Asia Super League team of the tournament as well this year, at 16 rebounds in the final, John Mooney.
昨シーズン B リーグ開幕以来初めてチャンピオンシップ進出を逃したブレックス。今シーズンはストライプのシーズンスローガンのもとチーム全員で掴み取った東地区優勝、リーグ最高勝率でのチャンピオンシップ進出、そしていよいよクォーターファイナルの戦いの火蓋が今切って落とされます。
A special introduction for a team having a special season.
この地に根付いたブレックスネーションというカルチャーの進化が問われる時、
The BREX Nation
ブレックス
awaits
ネーション
their
共に
constellation of
挑み
stars.
続けよう、最後の最後まで。 それでは宇都宮ブレックス本日のメンバーの発表です。まずはベンチメンバーから。Number 0、ユタ・カムセ。Number 7、アツヤ・小川。Number 10、コウスケ・竹内。Number 12、真珠・高島。Number 13、平戸に渡辺。Number 18、セイジ・カヌガ。Number 34、グラント・ジョレン。
Spectacular an introduction for a basketball team or any sports team as you will see anywhere in the world. Eyes on the prize. Full focus to start the postseason for UTSUNOMIYA BREX. Reaching for the stars this season, feeling like the sky is the limit. Game one of this quarter-final series is just moments away. UTSUNOMIYA BREX against CHIBA Jets. And these fans certainly their team's sixth man here at the BREX Arena tonight.
Number 42, Isaac Fortu. Number 33, Gavin Edwards. Number 25, DJ Newbill. Number 9, Yusuke Endo. Head coach, CHIBA. We are UTSUNOMIYA BREX.
Sasanuyo on the bench. What a superb job he's done this season. The height and the big build-up is over. All that's left is for those players, particularly the starting five just introduced to this crowd, to bring their best. These fans certainly will make some noise. Confirmation of those starting fives for the two teams. Isaac Fortu, New Zealand international, in that starting lineup for the home team, along with DJ Newbill, we talked about as the side's top scorer, assister and steal maker. Also Gavin Edwards, who's a naturalized Japanese international, played at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Makoto Hiyajima, the 2018 league MVP and a star as BREX won the title 2 seasons ago. And Yusuke Endo, the 36-year-old veteran guard, who's still averaging 8.1 points, knocking down more than 2 threes a game at 41%. Here we go then, an old rivalry resumed here in the B-League quarterfinals. 2 of the last 3 champions of Japan going head-to-head. The 2021 champions, the Chiba Jets, and the joint record 2-time title winners, UTSUNOMIYA BREX. One of these 2 clubs has made the final in every single edition of this competition since its first season was launched in 2016. This year, only one can progress to the semi-finals. Inside-outside passing, the opening shot, off the mark, offensive rebound, and pop back in. That's a way to respond to that big series opening show put on here at the BREX Arena. Right back at it on the basketball court, John Mooney. So Chiba Jets landing the first blow. Backed in by Isaac Fotu to respond in kind. Tries of defense to no avail from the home fans. Positive start on the offensive end for Chiba Jets. A couple of scores on their first couple of possessions. BREX, the strong favourites in this tie, is the very best team throughout the regular season this year, but don't write off the Chiba Jets, who had that league best record season last season. And this March as well, they lifted both the Emperor's Cup and the East Asia Super League trophy. As I say, they've been getting better, more confident, more cohesive through the course of the season. They pack the paint on defense here as Fotu goes up and draws a foul. Isaac Fotu, the 30-year-old big man, was part of the BREX title-winning team 2 years ago as they won their second championship. This is his first free throw. He's playing 24 minutes a game this season, putting up a team third best 11.7 points and a team second best 6.2 rebounds. Misses both. They'll get the offensive rebound though. Second chance opportunity off the missed foul shots. Newbill, top scorer for the team, trying to edge his way into the lane, and the floater falls for DJ Newbill as BREX tie again. Newbill up and running. It was never going to take him too long. Beautifully glanced off the glass from Togashi, getting his geometry spot on. Yuki Togashi. 3 trips down the floor in 2 minutes, 3 scores for Chiba Jets. Edwards kicking out. And there's a whistle. A foul here on Xavier Cooks. So he's going to go to the bench. There's 3 fouls already on the Jets, so they're in a positive position on the scoreboard, but not in terms of foul trouble. And they're all going down for both teams early on here. Yusuke Endo with the first triple of the game and the first lead of the game for UTSUNOMIYA BREX, followed by a turnover. Here he is again, Endo. Penetrating the paint, Newbill threading the eye of the needle. Fotu couldn't finish as his shot was disrupted going up. Really entertaining first 3 minutes down the left rail, attacking strong, going to the basket with Shooter Hara, and he's fouled. You saw Cooks going to the bench. He's only committed one of those 3 fouls for the Jets, but the other 2 have come from Uchiho. So he's already in personal foul trouble. That's part of the game plan to an extent for John Patrick, because Uchiho only averages 10.5 minutes a game this season. They've used him for defensive intensity from the start to try and slow BREX down. And they're back ahead. Shooter Harrott from the line. A high scoring first 3 minutes for both teams. Newbill, the American, gets it back from Edwards. Flicked up and in as the shots continue to fall. The turnover's coming for the travelling team now as Newbill goes right to the goal. And that is foul number 4 already on the CHIBA Jets. This one on the shot, so Newbill to the line. Any further fouls from the Jets defense for the rest of this quarter, and there's a long way of it to go, will send UTSUNOMIYA BREX to the line, shooting foul or not. You see the red lights at the bottom of your picture beneath the 8 points of CHIBA Jets. That means they've used all 4 of their fouls to give. The 5th one and beyond. Whether shooting foul or not, we'll see BREX to the foul line for the next 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Fantastic attendance at the BREX Arena. Such a huge passion for the sport in this part of the world, especially at this club as well. Newbill converts. UTSUNOMIYA BREX have the largest lead of the game so far at 3 points. Four points for Newbill. Here goes Togashi on the bounce to the far side. Togashi again. Can find a way through, drifting and draining as the shot drops as he floats towards the baseline. Beautifully done from Yuki Togashi. BREX coming right back at the CHIBA Jets though. Togashi with pinpoint precision at the other end though. Now you see this foul not on the shot, but they're at the limit already. There's a long, long way to go, especially when you've got DJ Newbill capable of attacking the basket and knocking down his free throws. 5 fouls on the CHIBA Jets inside the first 4 minutes. They're only down 2 in terms of the score, but they're in a whole world of foul trouble. Only 1 foul in contrast for BREX so far. That means they can play tougher, tighter defense. Into the lane, double team coming, forces the miss on Ira Brown, the 41-year-old. So a chance for a 2-possession lead. Newbill off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Smith. Three-point shot for the lead. Too heavy. The points have dried up to a certain extent for CHIBA Jets now. And a path through the paint and the kind home win for the score from Seiji Ikaruga. I think that's the first 2-possession lead of the game at 14-10, just before the midway point of the first period.
CHIBA
Cooks back in, having had that brief break on the bench, draws a foul. Only the second on BREX as a team, though. Kanechika, 21-year-old small forward, is into the game as well. The away team three-point shot goes to reduce the arrears to just one. Chris Smith refusing to let BREX get away. He can be a scoring machine in the minutes he's given. Talk about that a bit more in a moment as BREX come forward down the right rail and get the kind bounce for the basket again. DJ Newbill is showing why he's a superstar in this side. Three-point lead for BREX as we reach the timeout. No matter what they try, they can't stop Newbill scoring. He's got 7 points in the opening period with plenty of time to spare. Take a look at some of the action here. What about this? It was a two-pointer. It deserved to be a three. Feet inside of the arc. But a hand in his face, and the fade, and the drift, and the drain, and the drop. And didn't even graze the rim. Yuki Togashi with a beauty. Remember, they lost all 4 regular season meetings against BREX by double digits. The CHIBA Jets, they're down 3 here. The problem is on defense, though. 16 points conceded in around half of this quarter. That's far too many. Kick out, three-point shot. Big if it goes, and it does for the tie. Shooter Hara. 16-16. And outside shooting is keeping it so close right now. BREX doing far more of their attacking on the interior. Chance to take the lead for the Jets. Three-point shot again. Too long this time, but an offensive rebound. It's Hara. Hit the previous one. Passing on this time. Awkward attempt. Second bite of the cherry. Good for Chris Smith. And how about the 5-0 unanswered run and the lead for CHIBA Jets, playing with foul trouble, playing on the road, playing against the top team in the competition, but winning here so far in game 1 of the quarterfinals. Plenty of aggression and positivity. Earning a bit of good fortune, but the hustle underneath as well. The tip from Uchiho, finding Smith, who found the lead. Said he could be a scoring machine. He only averages 14.5 minutes a game this season, but 12.5 points. Not far off scoring a point a minute. Chris Smith, the 30-year-old American. He's knocking down 2 threes a game at 38%. Part of the B.LEAGUE Best 5 last season. Also won the 6th Man of the Year award for the 2nd straight campaign. Still 4 minutes of this first period to play. It's being played with high quality, high pace, and high concentration. Plenty of involvement from the 2 head coaches as well. Both taking timeouts already. Open 3-point shot off the timeout, missed from the corner though. seen many, if any, open shots missed in the game until that point. A turnover. Off the back of it though from Fumio Nishimura. 37-year-old veteran point guard. Those ones are tough to take when you're watching on as a coach, as John Patrick is. Talked about high concentration. That time there was a lack of it. The challenge for the Chiba Jets is keeping up this level of concentration and intensity the entirety of the 40 minutes. Crossover three-point shot blocked. Ikaruga pulling the trigger, but the bullet never left the gun. And in transition, the triple and a 5-point lead. Chris Smith, all guns blazing in game one. What a swing for the Chiba Jets. I said the problem was on defense. Well, BREX haven't scored for a couple of minutes now. After 16 points, basically in the first half of this period, nothing since. The foul trouble coming back to haunt Chiba Jets though. That one will send BREX to the line to stop the drought. There's Newbill's two-point floater. With 4 minutes and 46 seconds left of this period, they've got BREX 16-13 ahead. So since then, an 8-0 run for the Jets to go up by 5. And a drought of 2 minutes and 3 seconds for BREX. Grant Jarrett will look to end that drought at the line. A 30-year-old power forward who was drafted 40th in the NBA draft back in 2013 as a 20-year-old. Played 8 games in the competition. First came to Japan in 2018. Also spent time since then in Germany, Turkey and Russia. He's closed the gap from 5-3. 2.5 to play in the first period. 3-point shot again, off the footwork, short though. And a foul has gone on the defense. Smith passes on this time. Nishimura. Hara wants to get inside, kick to the corner. Over everything from the far side. Newbill, 7 points already. Fotu back out, open shooters queuing up, too long that time. A couple of feet back beyond the perimeter, but battling for the board was Mooney. John Mooney getting in, grabbing the ball, but committing the foul. Got away from Mooney, and then he called for that contact against Nishimura, and you see there, BREX very quickly themselves up to 4 fouls. That was number 4. The next one from BREX will result in free throws for the Jets. They lead by 3. Largest lead has been 5. Mooney, the handoff. Going to work again is Smith. Open shooter in the corner. If it comes that way, it doesn't. They want to foul. Instead, it's a turnover. said it was high scoring. It was for the first 5 minutes. The offense has dried up for both teams over the last 3.5. And they end the field goal drought now, BREX. Still no. Their last field goal coming around 3.5 minutes ago. Deep three-point shot as the defense backed away and Yuki Togashi made them pay. Largest lead of the ball game at 6 points. Final minute of the first to come. And that one got away from BREX as well. So the field goal drought continues. Close to 4 minutes without a score from the floor now. Just 2 foul shots in that period. Fotu losing focus and losing the ball. BREX losing possession and needing to regroup. The foul was committed off the back of that as well, which leads to foul shots because they're at the limit already. Remember, with 6 minutes plus remaining, CHIBA Jets were at the foul limit. Newbill was attacking and looking like he'd get to the line every trip down the floor. That just did not materialize. And somehow the tables have turned. And the lead grows to 8 points. Remember, the home team led 16-13. So since then, a 13-2 run, with those only 2 points for BREX coming from the foul line. They need this to go, and it doesn't. They're throwing up bricks now, after everything was going down the first 5 and a bit minutes. Open shooter, far side. Ball circulation. Still, the shot well challenged and well short. His team have rediscovered that incredible defense they had last season, the CHIBA Jets. Can BREX break the barricades? It's a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock, end of the first period. And it's a turnover. It's coming completely off the rails. The team with the best record in the regular season. This is plenty of time for the CHIBA Jets to generate a good look at the basket. 8.5 seconds to try and generate the first double-digit lead of this game. They'll take their time and wait for the final shot. Togashi looking to work his magic. It's a long-range three. Maybe time for the extra pass to the corner. We'll never know. But what a turnaround in the first period for the CHIBA Jets, who were trailing 16-13, but ended up winning the period 18-26 and lead by 8 at the end of one. The hosts had a 2-possession lead. Newbill had 7 early points. They had 16 in the first 5 minutes and 14 seconds. They only scored 2 in the final 4 minutes and 46 seconds of the period. And none of those points from the field. A field goal drought of close to 5 minutes.
Lexi and Belly.
The CHIBA Jets coming from behind to go up by 8 and stunning these fans here at the BREX Arena. The travelling team led by the 7 points of Togashi. fact, they've had 8 from Chris Smith. So Smith and Togashi combining for 15 of their 26. 5 from Shutahara, 4 from John Mooney. Chris Smith coming in and doing what Chris Smith does. 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown, 8 points in 6.5 minutes, 4 rebounds as well. Said he was scoring at a rate of nearly a point a minute this season. He's beyond that so far here in game 1. Togashi 7 points on perfect shooting, including a crazy fading finish in the corner and 1 3-point shot as well. Home team begin quarter 2 with the ball, still seeking that field goal. Offensive rebound to try and help them get it from Mooney. Mooney, the rebounding king this season, 12 rebounds a game, 3.8 offensive rebounds a game as well. Tough triple off the mark for Newbill, and they can't find a way through. The size of the basket seems to be shrinking as far as BREX are concerned. Turnover though from Jets, miss another opportunity, the first double-digit lead of the game. Try and catch them in transition before that half-court defense can set, but it does, so 5 on 5 now. BREX back out, trying to find the open shooter, can't even find the pass. 2 on 1 in transition for the CHIBA Jets, and they will show them how it's done. The first double-digit lead of game 1, and they can't stop Chris Smith from scoring, and they can't find a way to score at all themselves. Can BREX catch a break? Go to the post up with Jarrett. Up against 2, and to the line he goes. Puts the foul on Smith. Double figures in scoring for Smith personally to create the first double-digit lead. 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting for him. It's his first foul. Jarrett at the line. Playing 23 minutes a game this season. He's averaging the team 4th best 10.7 points. Team highs of 6.8 rebounds and 1.1 blocks a game. This is the only place that BREX can score points right now. Vital that he made them, and he does. That game high 10-point lead reduced to 8. There you can see your 5s on the floor at the top of your picture. Jets looking to recreate that double-digit advantage with Smith going to work again. On the left-hand drive into a pack of players and floating and finishing in the middle of that BREX defensive barricade. It took all of them, they still couldn't stop Chris Smith. It's 12 points for Smith on 5 of 7 shooting. Another chance. The line here for Gavin Edwards. Edwards playing against his former team in this series, signed from CHIBA Jets in the summer, the 36-year-old power forward. Part of that Jets team that went on the record run last season. Mind the gap, 2 minutes into the second period. Togashi. They're looking really confident and cohesive right now, the Jets. Togashi weaving and waving his magic wand again. So 11 is now the largest lead. Edwards. Endo. Static offense for BREX. Little jab set three-point shot. But when you can't get the offense moving as a team, give it to your superstar. DJ Newbill in isolation on the perimeter. Drains a three-point shot with the defense in his face. That is the first field goal for BREX in close to 8 minutes. And they try and turn up the intensity on the defensive end, but a foul. Jarrett going for the big block. Caught a piece of the player as well. Around 7.5 minutes without a field goal for UTSUNOMIYA BREX before that tough contested shot from DJ Newbill. John Mooney at the line. Home fans trying to help out their team, who've trailed by as many as 11. Feeling they played their part in a Mooney miss, and they want one more. As well as the league-leading 12 rebounds, 3.8 offensive rebounds. Mooney's averaging a team's second-best 17.9 points for the Jets. Splits that pair at the line. To turnover as it's poked away by Kanechika. Home side possession though, final touch off the number 12. Awkward body shape on the miss. Offensive rebound won't go back in. It was Endo who missed the three. And pouncing through the paint. Pouncing and bouncing and picking up the bucket. Chris Smith is in the zone. Nobody can stop him. And he's now got 14 points with a chance to tag one more to his tally from the line and tie the largest lead of the game at 11. Five of 7 from the field, including 2 of 3 from 3, but he misses his first free throw. That make it 6 of 8 from the field now. After that last basket. Turn around towards the end of the shot clock, won't go. Very little will. Incredible. I think they scored 16 points in the first 5 and a bit minutes. And now BREX can hardly buy a bucket. And CHIBA Jets are not slowing down. Terrific in transition again. Xavier Cooks this time. It was Smith helping out with the rebound, and Cooks going coast to coast with confidence and quality. The CHIBA Jets lead by 12, largest lead of the game. Timeout, BREX. It's for Chris Smith so far. Also 9 points in 10.5 minutes for Togashi. And now Cooks getting in on the party as well. Scores his second basket, and the lead is up to 12. This is a BREX team that finished the regular season with a 51-9 record, the best of all teams across the divisions. Went on a 21-game win streak. They're trailing here at home by 12 points. After a slow start on defense for the Chiba Jets, they have clamped down and locked down, and the points have continued to fall right the way through. There's an extended break here as the two sets of players go back to their respective benches. Everything sorted out, back underway. Fotu, the handoff. Hiyajima, can he be the one? Three-point shot, yes, right on the money from Makoto Hiyajima. That will certainly help. The first good look and good conversion in a long time. They'll try and cancel it out with one of their own, though. The Chiba Jets just not backing down and only getting better. The trailer right down the runway. Isaac Foto the finish. So 10 the gap. And banked in and won. A chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way, as everything continues to fall for the Jets. As said, Cooks had joined the party. Six points on perfect shooting for him now. And despite that three-pointer from Hiyajima for BREX, to close the gap to 9, a chance for the out-and-out largest lead here at 13. Short on it though. So 12 the gap, midway point of the second. Really in a tough place right now, BREX. Not been in this kind of situation often, if ever, this season. Battling away to no avail on the boards as the Chiba Jets continue to pack the paint and then pounce in transition. They are ruthless and relentless. And now it's Cooks who can't stop scoring as the lead grows to 14. 8 points for Xavier Cooks, and 6 of them have come in the last few minutes. The footwork and the finish. And the flying first half for the Chiba Jets. Timeout. UTSUNOMIYA BREX again. You're seeing there the scoring leaders for BREX. 10 points for Newbill, but 7 of them came in the first 5 and a bit minutes. Only that one tough contested three-pointer over around 10 minutes since then. They've just restricted him from taking shots. It's not that he's been missing shots, but he's only 3 of 5 from the field after taking plenty early on. And how about some of those individual tallies for the CHIBA Jets? In particular, the 14 points in the space of just 11 and a bit minutes for Chris Smith. 6 of 8 from the field, including a couple of threes. 9 points for the captain Togashi on perfect shooting, including a 3. 8 points now for Cooks on perfect shooting from the field, although he missed his only free throw. 5 each for Hara and Mooney. 14 the lead for the Jets. 4.5 to play in the first half. BREX could do with a big run. They found it tough on the interior, so they've started to turn a little more to the perimeter. Knocked down a couple of threes, but off the mark with that one. In fact, they've now taken as many threes as they have twos in the game. The Jets' defense has pushed them away from the paint. Here they go again on the bounce of Newbill. Passes out of a pack of players. Still no open shooter though. Short on the little push shot. They're now 6 of 13 on the inside, only 3 of 12 on the perimeter. Everybody with a spring in their step for the Jets. Everybody looking confident. Everybody getting a touch. Togashi going to work. Really trying to thread it through to no avail, but out of bounds beyond the baseline. Still their possession and still 6 on the shot clock. The Jets, on the other hand, have hit 12 of 16 from 2 for 75%. And 5 of 12 from 3 for 41%. They've taken extra shots because they've played at such a fast pace in transition. And there you see another 17 the lead in the first half for the CHIBA Jets on the road at the Kings of the regular season. The CHIBA Jets are playing the half of their season. Lost again by an UTSUNOMIYA BREX team that have been rocked and rattled well out of their usual rhythm. Smith bursting away, getting fouled by Endo. And as well as being down 17, as well as having no answers on defense to the shooting of the Jets, no answers on offense to the defense of the Jets, they also now have significant foul trouble and an anxious wait as the officials review the video. They keep it as a regular foul. That is a very faint silver lining on an otherwise dark cloud of a half for Sasanurio's team. Masterminding this game, John Patrick. His first year on the bench last season, they set that new B.LEAGUE record by winning 24 games in a row, finishing 53-7, but they fell in the finals to the Golden Kings. Unfinished business they will feel this season in a campaign that's not really gone to plan. High playing staff turnover, injuries, disruption. To talk about picking up pace at the right time here in the playoffs. Home fans don't like that call, they don't like this situation. This lead has ballooned to the high teens. 19, the Chiba Jets lead. They've poured in 49 points with 3 minutes and change still remaining in the first half. Newbill. So much weight of responsibility on his shoulders and backing him up. Isaac Fotu with the follow as Newbill drew the attention of the defense and Fotu ghosted him for the score. Smith, far side it goes. They need defensive stops. Spinning in between two, passing out Mooney. Three-point shot off front iron. And they get a stop now, a chance for back-to-back scores. 2.5 minutes to make it a positive finish at least to this second period. Fotu. Some may be expected this scoreline, but the other way around. Three-point shot, too long. Fernando, offensive rebound. Back up and in. Maybe back in the game. Takeuchi, the 39-year-old veteran, stepping up in BREX's time of need. Back-to-back scores. Can they make it back-to-back stops? A wrestling match down on the deck for possession and a jump ball, the outcome. Game-high deficit of 19 points for BREX, reduced to 15. They could really make it game on again if they continue for the next 2 minutes. Be disruptive on defense and efficient on offense. We'll have a timeout from Chiba Jets. John Patrick wanting to talk things through with his team. His aim to do the opposite of what I was just talking about and try and stop any BREX momentum before it really begins. They've just been shooting lights out. Inside and out. It's now 6 of 14 from 3 for 42%. 12 of 16 from 2 for 75%. Only committed 4 turnovers as well. Those 6 threes for the Jets have come from 4 different players as well. Togashi has 1. Kara's not 1 down. And Kanechika and Smith have both knocked down 2 each. Long range 2 this time. Doesn't go for Togashi. Series of defensive stops now for BREX. The door, maybe not ajar, but unlocked at least for a comeback attempt. Newbill moves it on. Tight defense from the Jets. Suffocating defense on the perimeter and the interior. Mooney putting the paint in lockdown. And he's adamant it should be their ball. I believe one official made that call, but that change has come from another official. So with 8 seconds left on the shot clock, BREX will get another chance to generate a shot. Standoff. A man who won't shoot the 3. Touch-tight defense on a man who would. They knew that the 39-year-old big man Takeuchi wasn't going to fire the 3. Or at least they invited him to do so. He didn't take the bait. And that is how you do it. The 7th triple of the first half for Chiba Jets, and the 2nd for Togashi, and the lead back to 18. Newbill. Final minute of the first half. It's now a 52-point half for the travelling team. Fotu, a big man who will take the outside shot, and he knocks it down. Does most of his damage on the interior. Isaac Fotu that time from the perimeter, but again the problem is on defense. Cook's coming right back. 54 points is far too many to concede in a half. Almost like they're living or dying by the three on the offensive end already, and at the moment dying. Still plenty of time, that's the one positive. Lots of time for BREX to try and turn the tide again, but 5-second differential, shot clock and game clock, end of the first half. 17 the lead, they'll try and add to it here. Up high, wouldn't go for Mooney. They lose it, recover it, still time, all the way through. New build to the goal in the nick of time, and at a time when they need their superhero to step up. Not a great deal to cheer in that first half for the BREX Nation, but at least something at the finish as they succeed in reducing a 19-point deficit down to 15 at the main break. UTSUNOMIYA BREX 39, the CHIBA Jets 54 at halftime. It's been a sensational opening 20 for the travelling team to upset the best team in the regular season and their fans here at the BREX Arena. The Jets with 3 scorers in double figures already, led by 14 for Smith, 12 for Togashi and 10 for Cooks. The home team have had 12 from Newbuild, but nobody else, apart from Fotu's 9, on more than 5 points.
まもなく場内暗転となります。お席をお立ちの際は十分にお気をつけください。それでは本日のハーフタイムショーはシクラメンの登場です。皆さん盛り上がる準備はできていますか？それではシクラメンの皆さんよろしくお願いいたします。
皆さんどうもシクラメンです。よろしくお願いします。苦しい展開です。苦しい展開ですが、皆さん後半もみんなが応援できるように、まずは皆さんを応援させてください。この曲でエール。プレー頑張れ、今君に届け、成り立って転んだとしたって君を支え行くぞ。無理してないか、頑張りすぎてないか、心配になるよ。時に肩の力を抜いて、キングに前を向いてみればいいんじゃない。力じゃ見えないものが意外とすぐそばにあるかも。この中一歩柱を立てて自分に誓って必ずできると信じることが大切。そんなタイム光は見えるから行くぞ。無理やり行くぞ。挑んでくれ支えるから。頑張れ、今君に届けないだけ転んだとしたって君を支え続けるよ。頑張れ、頑張れ、僕らの声が枯れても歌い続ける。さあみんなの思いが 届いてますよ。絶対届いてます。次の曲は仲間を呼びたいと思います。ブレクシー。言わせてください。ハートビートという楽曲は田臥さんの思いが詰まっています。その思いにシクラメンが音を乗せ、ブレックスファンが命を吹き込んだ楽曲です。この曲はただの曲じゃありません。僕たちの勝利の一曲です。俺たちが諦めてどうする。選手は最後まで戦っている。俺たちも諦めずタオルを回して勝利を呼び込みましょう。ハートビート。さあ心を燃やして選手たちを後押ししましょう。いけいけ、その思いが必ず選手たちに届きます。力を合わせて一緒にな行くぞ。いよいよ幕開けだ。戦う準備はできてるか。ほら Let's go。 鼓動は聞こえるか。夢の舞台に向かって行こうぜ。努力をした結果が絶対にそばになって分からせない。大事なのは疑わずに自分を信じること。この点差がなんだ。選手たちは最後まで戦ってるんだよ。全員で応援しよう。拳。誰のせいにもできない。できて自分の戦う時間が勝敗を待ってる。ラスト回せ。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとう。
クラメンの皆さん、魂のこもったパフォーマンスありがとうございました。皆さん大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
ワニーは安全で品質の高い医療機器を世界中の人々に届けます。 The best quality in the world to the world ワニー。
質問です。15歳から25歳の方、栃木に普通口座を持っている方、U25未来へのエントリーで0円です。さらに栃木 JCB デビットでコンビニ ATM も0円に。栃木 U25 未来で検索。
実家継いだんだ。
本田さん、
こんにちは。踊らない？
忘れたさ。
体が覚えてるよ。
第2章始まる。日替わりゼロゼロゼロ。
あなたの周りに生ポリ、あれもこれもみんな生ポリ、未来を包む生ポリ。未来を作る、世界をつなぐ研究と創造のアルベックステクノロジーズ。
OS はここ栃木県で公共施設の管理運営を行っています。私たちは地域社会に貢献し、スポーツ文化の健全な発展を目指しています。株式会社 OS。
諦めない男、比江島誠。国際大会で負け続けたカス10。勝ち続けたいから努力をする。諦めない男はかっこいい。チャップアップシャンプー。
1901年創業。火、水、揺れ、音、空気。吉野石膏はさまざまな視点から安全、快適とは何かを模索し、挑戦し、愛変わらず今日も暮らしを考える吉野石膏。
Welcome back to the first game of this quarter-final series between UTSUNOMIYA BREX and the CHIBA Jets here at the BREX Arena. It has been a stunner so far for the travelling team, CHIBA Jets, who are losing 16-13 around the midway point of the first period, winning by as many as 19 points after that, and by 15 now at half-time on the road. The best team throughout the course of this season so far. Chris Smith shooting the lights out, 3 scorers in double figures for the travelling team, led by the 14 points of Smith. Off the back of that 16-13 start in favour of the home team, the CHIBA Jets launched a 13-2 run to take control. And from just beyond that midway point of the first period, they ended up winning the rest of the half, 23-41. 19 was the largest lead before a couple of scores, including one right out the buzzer of the first half, closed the gap to 15. But it's been about as good as the CHIBA Jets and their head coach John Patrick expected perhaps it could be. Cook's another of those scorers in double figures, had 8 of his points in the second period. They have shot the ball superbly, 68% from 2, 7 threes at 46%. And then the process of creating those high percentage shots, they've dished 10 assists, only committed 4 turnovers. Now the home team have only committed 5 turnovers, but CHIBA Jets have been far more clinical at making the most of them. After 5 turnovers of their host, they've scored 8 points, whereas the Jets have committed 4 turnovers and BREX have only scored 2 points from them. CHIBA Jets cold and clinical, composed and confident, dominating the numbers. And the 20-8 you see at the bottom of that graphic in their favour is the bench scoring. They've had a huge contribution from whoever's taken to the court. In fact, their best run in the game to really blow it wide open came when they had Kanechika on the court in his 10 minutes. They're plus 17 with the 21-year-old on the court. That's the highest plus minus of all players in the game. 12 points for DJ Newbill for BREX at half-time, but 7 of them came in the first 5 minutes, only 5 in the last 15. Kevin Edwards with a team high in rebounds. Togashi, the other player in double figures for the Jets, he's got 12 points, only behind the 14 of Smith. 3 assists as well for Togashi. Smith also has 3 assists as well as 4 rebounds. He's only been on the court for 13 minutes. He's just dominating. There's a look at that head-to-head of those key players we highlighted for you before the opening tip. 12 points each. Newbill scoring his 12 off 4 of 8 shooting, slowing down after that hot start. He's been held to only 1 of 4 on the perimeter. Had a couple of turnovers as well as his 2 assists, playing 17.5 minutes of the game. As for Togashi, 15.5 minutes on court for those 12 points, only missing 1 shot. 5 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from downtown. 3 assists with 2 turnovers for him. UTSUNOMIYA BREX will start the third quarter with the ball, down 15 points. Can they salvage game 1 in this club record-setting season? They do not want to do what CHIBA Jets did last season when they broke all the records but fell in the finals. It's a foul on the rebound attempt that goes against Cooks. They dealt with that foul trouble as a team early on as well, the Jets, and once they got rid of the foul trouble, the second period, their defense got even better. Kotu trying to turn away. It's another foul on Cooks again. I think that's 3 on Cooks. 2 in quick succession. If so, he'd become the first Jets player onto 3. In fact, the first player for either team in the game. A decision for John Patrick to have to make as to when and how long he's on the floor now. Newbill to the far side, contested three-point shot with pinpoint precision. Hits the bottom of the net, the perfect start to the second half for BREX. 2 fouls on the Jets and 1 triple for the home team. That one knocked down by Garrett Edwards. Balanced trademark triple. Wouldn't go for Togashi, but they get the second chance scoring opportunity, and he was not going to miss 2 in a row. Yuki Togashi from downtown again, and 15 the lead again. He's 3 of 4 on the outside in the game. Newbill going down the left, and that's 3 fouls. So this was the situation in the first period. CHIBA Jets with a series of fouls early on. Had that tough start where BREX scored 16 points in the first 5 and a bit minutes. BREX then only scored 23 more points in the next nearly 15 minutes, all the way to half-time. Newbill spinning away in the lane, short on the shot. His shooting percentage continues to drop after his hot start. 4 of 9 from the field now for Newbill. Open shooter, low catch, up it goes. Doesn't go in, offensive rebound. Mooney though, they'll try and stick it back. And a miss from Cooks, who's still on the floor with that individual foul trouble. It is to confirm 3 personal fouls on Cooks. The lead is 15 as it was at half-time. The foul trouble continues to come though. They've reached 4 fouls even earlier than they did in that first period, the Jets. Inside of 2 minutes, so for the next 8 minutes, any foul from their defense will send the home team to the line. Limit the way they can play on the defensive end. 3-point shot. Far side is good, and these fans sense a comeback is up and running. From 19 down, they're within 12. The foul trouble that really makes it possible for BREX. Because it's been the defense of the CHIBA Jets that has been the platform from which they've been able to launch their offense in transition off rebounds and turnovers to open up their big leads. Ira Brown is going to come in, the 41-year-old. This particular juncture calls for Chris Smith, the star of the first half.
Hard
to play that touch-tight hustle defense when you're on 4 fouls already. BREX have to make the most of this opportunity within 12. Looking to continue to close it. Passed on, 1 bounce, little fake. Up it goes. And foul number 5 comes inside of 3 minutes of the period. Not fake from Jarrett. Caught on the way back up by Mooney. So 3 fouls on 3 different players now for the Jets. Cooks, Ucho, and Harrod. That was Mooney's second. Not just team foul trouble, but individual foul trouble. Miss at the line, though, for Grant Jarrett. Against the Jets a couple of weeks ago, he had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. The previous meeting between these two in March, he put up 16 points and 10 rebounds for a double-double. Just 5 points so far tonight. They've all come from the foul line. 5 of 6 for Jarrett. Does have a blocked shot on the defensive end, but they need more on the offensive end from him. Gap close to 11. Lively offense, tough shot though. And a chance to make it a single-digit game. Bodies hitting the deck. Brown back up quickly to 5-on-5, being attacked straight away. Saved on the baseline into a teammate's hands. And that is the first foul of the third quarter on the home team. The CHIBA Jets already having picked up 5 and gone to the limit. Good save from Mooney. Composure on the baseline from his teammate as well to avoid the turnover. Jarrett goes to the bench. That's his 3rd personal foul. The tough time continues for Jarrett. He's the first home player to pick up a 3rd. Second foul comes soon after the first for BREX. This one on Newbill. It's Newbill's second. The lead for the Jets. Pull-up, 3-point shot, short from Togashi. They've stopped going down, but the offensive rebounds are coming now. Onto the corner. The big man can't hit the big shot off the mark from Mooney. And that 3-point percentage is plummeting. Newbill like a shark smelling blood. But he's blocked off as he gets to the beach. Instead, he's the one who ends up getting hurt. It's the right decision to run and gun and go aggressively as he sits Brown down. The second time Brown has hit the floor in the last couple of minutes. Mooney going straight up. Wants to travel as Newbill lands back down to terra firma with the ball. And indeed, DJ Newbill gets nothing for his positivity. Nothing but a whack to the face. Togashi back out. Oh, lovely pass on the interior into Mooney, who rocks the rack. 13 the lead for the CHIBA Jets. Looking to hold BREX at arm's length. Newbill up against Brown again. Shot clock down to the final 4 here. Tough defense despite the foul trouble, but excellent offense to get the job done. That one dropped home by Hiroshima. 11 the gap again. Crossover, 3-point shot, fouled on it! And a chance at a 4-point play for the on-fire Chris Smith. The unstoppable force behind the back, pull-up. His previous shooting bought him that foul. And he drained the bucket to the agony of these fans at the BREX Arena. Midway point of the third period, a chance to take the lead back to 15 as it was at the half, despite a big improvement for BREX. And he completes the 4-point play. Game face on. Shot clock winding down again on the home team. They create a good look at the end of it though, maybe not for the shooter they wanted as Fotu misses on the outside. It's Brown, but the defense not backing down. You have to credit the character of the CHIBA Jets repelling that comeback attempt, doing so with foul trouble again. After they dealt well with the foul trouble at the midway point of the first period as well, they've done so in a similar vein here in the third. Newbill. Ikaruga moving it on. So many deflections on the defensive end. Nishimura doesn't get the turnover, but he puts the brakes on the BREX attack. Still 10 on the shot clock. Ikaruga, the 30-year-old point guard, will inbound. And BREX get a contribution from their bench, the same way the Jets have done. Again, it's Fotu with the outside shot. I'm not sure that's the best option on offense for BREX, but the Jets defense isn't giving up much right now. Shows he's human. Chris Smith with the miss. Get it back again. That's been a theme of this third quarter, that they've been missing more shots but grabbing more offensive rebounds. So it's another problem for BREX. They need to protect their backboard better. As Fotu then picks up a foul. Okay, and they're catching the Jets up in that foul count. We've not seen his team get to the line enough in both periods, the first and the third, in which their opponents have hit the foul limit early. A couple of missed threes, a couple of offensive rebounds. That theme continues, but Brown couldn't keep a hold of this one. It's now 11 offensive rebounds for the CHIBA Jets, which is 3 more than BREX, who had the advantage in that category at half-time. So they've gone about their business in a different way here in the third period, the Jets, but done so just as impressively to keep the margin at 15. Fotu will go to the line as he's fouled by Chris Smith. The first foul on Smith. The game's top scorer with 18 points. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 0 turnovers. He's drawn 4 fouls, commits his first. Fotu at the line, who we've seen in this third period putting up 3-point attempts. He did hit a 3 earlier in the game, but he's missed both of his attempts in this period. The team are shooting only 30% on the outside at 6 of 20. Taking nearly as many threes as they have twos. Beautiful interior passing. And up to the heavens goes Xavier Cooks for the Cracker. 15 the gap again. Turnover. Saved by the doggedness and diligence of Watanabe. They have to play with all kinds of hustle right now for the next 12.5 minutes. They made their big attempt at a comeback to start this period. It didn't last long. Jarrett, that will certainly help. They need their superstars to step up. Grant Jarrett's had a really tough time until that point. It's his first field goal conversion of the game, just his second shot attempt. His previous 5 points all coming from the foul line. Lean forward three, short. And this time they do protect their backboard off the Nishimura miss. Open look for three at the other end. The comeback is back on track. Gap close to 10. 10 points for Hiyajima. The league's leading three-point marksman to the rescue. 2 of 4 from downtown tonight. And a deficit that has been as high as 19 and was 15 at the half is now just 10 points. With 12.5 minutes to play. Beg your pardon, 12 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the game. 10 the deficit for the hosts. They've built momentum, they've improved in this third quarter. Still not shooting it too well from long range as a team, but a huge one for Hiyajima. Leave it to the league leader in three-point shots to answer the call. Home to the Jets in December, he had 18 points. He went 3 of 5 from downtown. 5 assists, 1 steal and 0 turnovers in that win as well. Remember, BREX won all 4 previous meetings this season against the Jets. They've trailed by 19 at home in this one. Turnover off the back of the timeout though for the Jets. Is all of their good work going to come undone? A chance to make it a single-digit game. Fotu back out. They're looking to dizzy the defense. No route to the rim though. Watanabe. Shot clock down to the final 5. Again, quick hands, active hands on defense, as we've seen right the way through this game from the Chiba Jets. So Gashi lost the dribble, picks it back up. Plenty of time left on the shot clock as he directs traffic from deep. Trying to take Fotu on down the baseline, running into trouble though and turning it over. The defense has stepped up for the home team. The turnover and shooter Hara. So another opportunity to make it a single-digit margin. Both teams at the foul limit. Just over a minute to play here in the third. Ikaruga. Now Jarrett. Hand off to Ikaruga again. Better movement on the offensive end now. Turnaround 3 doesn't go. Rebound Mooney. Rebounding crucial for the Jets in this third quarter to hold off the comeback attempt. Top 3. He's capable of them. But perhaps an ill-advised shot from Togashi that time. I think you'd rather see the team run a half-court set and take more time away, especially towards the end of the third quarter, try and generate a better percentage shot. Lobbed entry pass, Fotu fumbles and turns it over. And it looked like he had the opportunity backing in against Cooks. So his team have succeeded getting as close as 10, but still can't take it down to single figures. There's 20 seconds remaining here in the third period. The CHIBA Jets to have the last lap of the third. High pressure from BREX. Now they'll retreat. Chris Smith has been the standout star. 18 points so far. Calls for the screen from Mooney. He retreats back into the paint. Smith down the right, puts it in for 20 points before the end of the third period. Chris Smith, 8 of 11 from the field, takes the lead back up to 12 with 10 minutes to play. The lowest scoring quarter for both teams in the game at 16-13 in favour of BREX, but ultimately for all of their hard work, only succeeding in taking 3 off the half-time deficit of 15. In the fourth, they have only one option. They have to marry that improved defense with a big offensive period to try and erase this 12-point deficit over the course of the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, they will surrender game 1 at home to the underdogs CHIBA Jets. Look at some of the main moments from that third quarter. Togashi, another 3. Edwards knocking one down from the far side for the hosts. Lovely pass from the 41-year-old Dyra Brown. Mooney points in appreciation at his veteran teammate. It was a high-scoring first half. The defense dominated third period though. TJ Newbill, the top scorer for BREX through the season, held to 12 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 3 assists with 3 turnovers. He has the worst plus-minus of all players. BREX minus 12 with him on the court. A couple of weeks ago against the Jets, he fired 21 points. 3 steals, 5 rebounds, 4 assists as well in that game. Here he goes, Newbill. Can still become the star. Back out, 3-point shot, wide left. BREX start this important fourth period with a miss. Togashi back out. Can the big man hit a big 3? No. Off the mark, Mooney. Brown battling for the board, and he salvages possession. Dyra Brown, who became a Japanese citizen a few years ago. He's played here since 2011. Plays for the Japanese national team as well. Still playing a remarkable 23 minutes a game at the age of 41. Togashi to angle his body awkwardly to try and get that shot away. No change to the score so far in this fourth period. Foul on the Jets. Smith. Only his second. Several players early go on to 3 fouls, but nobody has yet picked up their 4th, so a bit of leeway now in that regard with only 9 minutes remaining. Post up on the block, puts another foul on Smith. Go to the 2'3" power forward up against the 193 shooting guard. 10-centimeter height advantage, and Smith takes the foul. So 2 in quick succession on him, having only had 1 the rest of the game before that. Joins a group of players on 3 personals. 3-point shot is good, and they are finally within single figures. DJ Newbill looking to raise his game in the 4th. 9 the gap, just under 9 minutes to play. Down the right, tough shot forced on Smith, and a rare miss for the game's top scorer. He was 8 of 11 from the field before that. Newbill passes away from 2. There's a free man somewhere. 3-point shot is good for Gavin Edwards. Back-to-back threes, and the BREX nation roars. From 19 down, UTSUNOMIYA BREX are back within 6. The 3 from Newbill, followed by the assist from Newbill as he took 2 defenders away, and Edwards was left free to do the rest. Can the CHIBA Jets repel one more big assault on their advantage? It's as close as BREX have been since the first period. We said they got the defense sorted in the 3rd quarter, just needed to knock down some shots. They're doing that at the start of the 4th. They've scored the first 6 points of the period on back-to-back threes, and halved the 12-point deficit at the start of the 4th down to 6. It's a 2-possession ball game. They pick up their first foul of the 4th. Jets have committed 2 already. Newbill leads the way for the host with 15. There's 4 scoring in double figures now, 11 each for Edwards and Fotu, and 10 for Hiyajima. Mooney passes on. Togashi. Can somebody hit a pressure relieving shot for the Jets? Togashi with another tough one, wouldn't go down. Newbill. A huge comeback perhaps on the cards, especially if this goes down. And the best 3-point shooter in the league, Hiyajima, misses. A good look from the corner that would have made it a 3-point game. Smith just takes one, and that's off the mark for him. Must be the first time in the game he's missed back-to-back shots. Points drying up for CHIBA, the points drying up for Smith in correlation. Down the left, switch of hands, wouldn't roll for Jarrett. Gets it again, Jarrett up fakes, and the foul on Mooney, so Jarrett will go to the line for 2. 3rd team foul on the Jets. So foul trouble for them on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, they've started the 4th period with a 3-minute drought. Nervy times these for John Patrick.
ただいま
They're
ブレッ
going
ク
to
スに暴
dissect the
力
video
行
here.
為があったということで、千葉ヘッドコーチチャレンジがございました。
John Patrick
千
using
葉
a
ベンチからヘ
coach's
ッドコー
challenge
チ
to
チャレン
instruct
ジ
the
がござい
officials
ます。
to check the
判定出
video.
ますまで今しばらくお待ちください。
I believe for some untoward physicality underneath. Let's have a look. It's his player who falls beyond the baseline. This is the foul on Mooney. That's a clear foul. And there's nothing before that that should warrant any different call. That decision being explained to John Patrick. Man who, back in only his second year as a head coach, won the Japanese Super League with Tokyo Alvark in 2006. Also spent his 13-year playing career between Japan and Germany, the two countries that he's effectively split his coaching career between as well. He was at Ludwigsburg in Germany for nearly a decade before he came here to Japan to the Chiba Jets bench in 2022. He's a three-time German Bundesliga Coach of the Year. His team's once sizable advantage keeps being whittled away. Only splitting the pair though, Grant Jarrett. So 5 the gap, 7 minutes to play. A grandstand finish ahead of us here in UTSUNOMIYA. Mooney getting in and getting it to go with persistence in the paint. John Mooney stopping the rot, the first score in nearly 3.5 minutes of this quarter for the Jets. Is it enough as they try and hold off this big BREX comeback attempt? The home team's far side of the paint where it's packed. Quick hands, quick save, but not quite finding a teammate from Togashi. Well, they've put themselves in a great position with all of their hard work, the Chiba Jets, to try and cause an unlikely upset. The momentum, though, is with UTSUNOMIYA BREX. Do the Jets have the character, the courage, the composure, and the conditioning to try and weather this storm and see it through to the finish to take the lead in this quarter-final series? Mooney has just become the away team's 4th player into double figures for points. He's got 11 now, behind the 12 of Cooks, 15 of Togashi and 20 of Smith. Mooney also with 9 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, so 1 board away from the double-double. Home team with 4 double-digit scorers as well, led by the 15 of Newbill. Gavin Edwards has been their beast on the boards. He's got 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Just under 6.5 to play. Newbill to inbound, down 7. Only 1 foul left to give for the Jets. They get the steal, the turnover, and the chance to run. Cook's frustrated. He couldn't make it an and 1 opportunity, but he'll go to the line for 2 instead. Ira Brown on the defensive end. He's averaging 0.8 steals a game, the 41-year-old. Brooks missed his only previous free throw in the game. He's the second best plus-minus player in the game, Xavier Cooks. The Jets plus 11 with him on court in his 20 minutes. He can't complete that double-double, not yet. Newville gets to the ball first. 8 the lead. 6 minutes to play. Nice passing, inside, outside, ball circulation, side skip, three-point shot, too long, and it feels as though the Jets have weathered the storm for now. Plenty of time to go. They may well just be in the eye of the storm, but a chance for a double-digit lead again. Togashi into a pack of players, lobs it up high. Mooney has been the main man to kill the comeback here down the final stretch. John Mooney makes it a 10-point lead as he moves to 13 points, 9 rebounds. Cooks grabbing a defensive board. It feels like BREX have used up their ammunition. Midway point to the fourth. Side skip. This would be a dagger from deep, delivered by Yuki Togashi. He drills it right on the midway point of the final period. And after BREX had come from 19 down to within 5 points, the lead stretched back to 13. Yuki Togashi, the sharp shooting superstar. He's 4 of 7 from downtown for 18 points in the ball game. Just a scintillating scorer, the 167-point guard. He's had big games against BREX this season, albeit in defeat. A couple of weeks ago had 21 points, 10 assists against them. Earlier in the season, 20 points and 5 assists. In a game here in UTSUNOMIYA in December, he had 23 points, albeit he was restricted to a low shooting percentage in that one. But tonight, when it matters the most, 18 points for Togashi on 7 of 12 shooting altogether. Five minutes for BREX, down 13. What have they got off the back of the timeout? Endo. The offense a bit dry, creates the three-point shot. It's a good look, but several feet back, slightly low catch, and a tough miss. It would benefit the Jets now to take long possessions to take time away from the hosts. Chris Smith doing just that. Now 7 to shoot. Smith going to work. The scoop, but not the score. So time taken away, but a miss. And in contrast, BREX need quick attacks. Post up for Jarrett. Draws the help. Back out. Fizzed in. Nicely done. Lovely find from Watanabe. And it's finished off by Ikaruga. So 11 the gap. Inside of 4 minutes to play, though. Almost got to be a defensive stop, an offensive conversion right the way through now. Togashi passes on. Brown, Togashi, sidestep, three. The trademark triple from the main marksman. The man who has magic in his fingertips from long range. Yuki Togashi is in take-down mode. His fifth three of the game, and 2 of them have come in crunch time. He's now the game's top scorer with 21 points. He's unstoppable on the perimeter. A man who's making more than 3 threes a game this season, averaging a team-high 18 points. He's beyond both of those statistics here in game 1 of the quarterfinals. 21 points, 5 of 8 from downtown. But cold and clinical in money time. Three and a half minutes. It's mission improbable, but not yet mission impossible for BREX. How to 64 points through 37 minutes almost in this game. Fotu back out. They create a good look for 3. They need it to go, and it doesn't even go as far as the basket. Off the block. Well, the defense of CHIBA Jets is the type of defense we saw last season. Exceptional last season. They conceded only 74.8 points per game. This season they were letting in close to 82 points a game. Disruption, integration of new players, an injury to last year's Defensive Player of the Year shooter Hara, all not helping. But the pieces of the puzzle, and in particular the defensive puzzle, clicking into place for the playoffs. The officials going to the video to take a look. As you see, the tip of the finger of Hara, talk about his defensive diligence just a moment ago. But it's desperation for Sasunurio's team. He, his players, and their fans almost can't believe what has hit them. A dominant team through the course of the season until the first game of this quarterfinal series. They will get the ball, but they need a miracle almost now. Down 14 with 3 minutes and change remaining, only 1.7 on the shot clock. They get a basket here, it's where the miracle might start to materialize. They get a really good look, 3-pointer again, disrupted by the defense. Back-to-back blocks on 3-point attempts when it looked like there was enough breathing room to pull the trigger. This CHIBA Jets defense is only getting more and more impressive. They create a wide open spot for the 3. That doesn't go. Miss from Nishimura. But plenty of time taken off the clock, down to 2.5 minutes remaining now off those back-to-back failed offenses. They need to light it up from long range here. 3-pointer away and off the mark. And surely now out of time. Approaching the final 2 minutes, down 14. Almost half-hearted cries of defense now as belief is sapped out of this arena. And the Jets have tasted their own medicine with that corner block from Jarrett. But it's still Jets ball, 6 to shoot. which will take us inside the final 2 minutes. Get a foul as well. A shot away after just a couple of seconds off the inbound. Mooney, the flash, not the finish, but the foul, and that will send him to the line. Great off-ball movement from John Mooney. Heads hanging now on the BREX bench, in the stands and on the court. The BREX team that arrived into the postseason red hot. Had a 21-game win streak during the regular season. The 51-9 league best record. Now rocked against the ropes in this quarterfinal series. Down 15. Mid-range jumper, good. Takeuchi. They're going to need veterans like him to help them out in game 2 tomorrow. Here he goes again, Togashi, surely not! Yuki Togashi is unplayable on the perimeter, the 6th shooter for Chiba Jets, knocks down his 6th three on 9 attempts tonight, and 3 of them have come here in the 4th period. 24 points now for Togashi. He has let off fireworks in UTSUNOMIYA's night to light up the sky, to light up the scoreboards, to light up the B.LEAGUE playoffs. Game, set and match off the back of that last one. 14 the lead, final minute approaching. And it's a result that's going to shake up the season. Kick ball off the foot of Watanabe. This is a Chiba Jets team that in the regular season went just 35-25 versus a league best 51-9 from BREX. It didn't arrive into this quarterfinal in good form. Since they won the East Asia Super League back in March, they've only won 4 of their last 10 games in the B.LEAGUE. Chiba Jets, only 1 of their last 5 coming into this game 1 of the quarterfinals, including a couple of double-digit defeats to tonight's opponents in that stretch. By 11 in their last meeting, and before that by a staggering 27. But on the big stage of the postseason, they have produced one of the performances and one of the results of their season. Harrop. 5 to shoot for Shooter. That one rims out, but the job is done here. The Chiba Jets stun the competition by winning game 1 of this best-of-3 playoff series on the road. The league's best team from the regular season, UTSUNOMIYA BREX, doing so behind a remarkable shooting display from Yuki Togashi, who drilled 6 threes, including 3 in the final period, to see off a big BREX comeback attempt. John Patrick's team win it 70-82 and take the lead in this series as they look to advance to the semi-finals. 24 points for Togashi to lead all scorers. After Chris Smith had produced 20 earlier on, Togashi took the baton and ran with it down the final stretch. Shot the lights out. With each and every one of those sniper-like hits, sapped belief out of this arena. Now BREX face a must-win night in Game 2 to avoid their season, their record-setting season, coming to an abrupt end. Talk about the shooting of Togashi. The 24 for him, the 20 for Smith. But how about the defense of Chiba Jets as a team as well? Game 2 comes tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. local time, before a potential decisive Game 3 on Monday. Appreciation from the home fans for their players, who were comfortably second best after a strong start as well. 16-13 they led around the midway point of the first period.
勝ちました千葉ジェッツジョン・パトリックヘッドコーチです。コーチ、今シーズンの何か千葉ジェッツを象徴するようなこう苦しいながらもこう勝ち抜いてみせました。今の気持ち聞かせてください。
はい、第一戦は勝ちましたけど、まだシリーズが終わってないですので、まだこの集中力を、続けて、頑張っていきたいと思います。
コーチ、今シーズンこのブレックスとの対戦はもう天皇杯レギュラーシーズンともいろいろな激戦やってきました。このゲーム1に向けてフォーカスした点教えてください。
初めて今シーズン宇都宮と戦って全員がいました。今まで誰かが、大事な選手1人か2人か3人がいなかったんで、初めてフルパワーで、戦っているんで、ディフェンスとリバウンドは、メインポイントです。
今日そしてベンチからの選手たちの貢献があったと思います。コーチの印象を教えてください。
そうですね、レンが、入って、前半だけでプラス14の、レーティングですごいいいディフェンスやって、あと3ポイントも入れて、チームエフォートだったんですけど、やっぱりディフェンスのところでレンとアイラは、非常にいい仕事をやりました。
コーチ、今日は船橋アリーナでパブリックビューイングで、今おそらく船橋アリーナどっかん言ってると思います。メッセージお願いします。
はい、千葉ジェッツのファン、本当にホームでやれなくて申し訳ないけど、ファンのために、明日も頑張って、ぜひこのシリーズを、サポーターのために、勝ちたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
ゲーム1取りました千葉ジェッツジョン・パトリックヘッドコーチでした。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
The fluent Japanese thoughts of the American-born head coach John Patrick, who spent so much of his career in this country as a player and as a coach. Worked wonders with his team on arriving at the Chiba Jets bench last season, but fell at the final hurdle after they dominated the regular season but lost in the finals.
はい、続きまして千葉ジェッツ富樫勇樹選手です。富樫選手、今日も今シーズンの千葉ジェッツ象徴するような決して楽ではなかったゲーム1だったと思います。今終わってみて気持ち聞かせてください。
はい、最大19点と話してましたけど、本当に19点開いた時もハーフタイムもそうですけど、もう必ず宇都宮がもうカムバックするっていう話はしてたので、6点、5点あたりまで詰められた時も、しっかりねチームとして連動して戦い続けることできてよかったなと思います。
勝負どころに来てのクラッチタイムでのアジア MVP としての富樫勇樹の存在感感じました。シーン振り返ってください。
もちろんシュートタッチ良かったっていうのもそうですけど、しっかり時間と点差と考えながらプレーした結果だと思いますし、本当に、今シーズンレギュラーシーズン宇都宮に4敗して、もうかなりコンテンパンに毎試合やられているので、もうその借りを返す気持ちでね、今日、ここまでやってきたので、まずゲーム1取れてよかったなと思います。
富樫選手、千葉ジェッツとしてはこれ、天皇杯、イーストアジアスーパーリーグ、そして B リーグタイトル、3冠へのチャレンジです。チームの雰囲気いかがですか？
はい、決して正直怪我人も含め、レギュラーシーズン中盤、状態良かったわけじゃないですけど、やっぱりまた新しいシーズンというね、気持ち切り替えてここに来ましたし、チームとして本当に戦い続け、今日に40分間戦い続けられたと思うので、でもこれはもう本当にね、もう1試合取らないと意味ないので、しっかり切り替えて、明日の試合に臨みたいなと思います。
富樫選手、最後、今日は船橋アリーナでパブリックビューイングでした。多分富樫選手のスリーで船橋どっか行ってたと思います。メッセージお願いします。
はい、本当になかなかね、僕たちがまずホームゲーム取れなかったこと、そして、ファーストラウンドでどこと当たるか、もう最終節まで分からなかったということで、なかなかチケットがね取れなかった人多かったと思うので、やっぱりそれはね、ファイナルまで進んで、もう一回、ジェッツのファンの皆さんの、たくさんのジェッツファンの前でプレーすることっていうのが、僕たちはねしなきゃいけないと思っているので、必ず明日の試合勝ってね、次に進みたいなと思います。
見事ゲーム1取りました千葉ジェッツ富樫選手でした。ありがとうございました。
Thoughts of the game's top scorer, Yuki Togashi. It looked as though BREX had the wind in their sails and were on course for a huge comeback. They closed a 19-point gap down to 5, had all of the momentum in the fourth period, and then came that sharp shooting show from Togashi to gun down BREX's chances of completing that comeback. 6 of 10 from downtown, 3 of those threes coming in the fourth from Togashi. Led the way of all scorers in the game with 24 points. What a performance it was as we see the highlights of game 1. Newville led the way for the home team, 15 points, but held to 5 of 11 from the field. Togashi and the Jets were locked in from the start. Shot 56% from 2, 33% from 3, making 12 triples, half of those coming from Togashi. The captain coming to the fore in the fourth. The head coach talked about defense being key. We talked about that through the course of the broadcast. And Ren Kanechika being one of the key players. Again, we talked about that at half-time. The 21-year-old who had the best plus-minus of all players in the game at that point. So, yes, we talk about the 24 of Togashi and the 20 of Smith. But it was the defense that provided the platform from which to launch that offense. And all in all, a superb performance at both ends of the floor. Yuki Togashi, the captain, talking about still having the chance to be a champion. Unfinished business as far as CHIBA Jets are concerned after they fell in the final in their record-setting season last season. They want to go all the way this time, and they start the playoffs with a big upset against the best team this season as they take game 1. Also in double figures in scoring, 13 points for Xavier Cooks, who had 6 rebounds. Mooney, 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 offensive rebounds. He was big with his rebounding in the second half. The CHIBA Jets with a defensive display reminiscent of last season. For a team with only a 35 and 25 regular season record this season, what a way to start the playoffs. As a wild card entry, they upset the top seed. BREX were held to 39% field goal shooting, including only 27% from long range. Yuki Togashi showing them how it's done. Chiba Jets also had 2 fewer turnovers, only 8 through the course of the game, while dishing 16 assists. Played really well as a team, everybody contributing in some way. Kanechika with a plus-minus of 16 with him on the court in his 15 minutes. They made that huge run to open the game in the first half with the bench players on the floor. Xavier Cook's the best plus-minus of all players in the game at plus 17. A real squad effort for the Chiba Jets to produce perhaps the result of their season. 4 previous games against BREX this season, they'd lost them all by double figures. They win this one on the road by 12 to take the lead in this quarter-final series. It was about as good as it comes in terms of the performance, the shooting, the rebounding, the ball protection, the ball circulation, and of course the defense. The big question now is how will UTSUNOMIYA BREX respond in what is now a do-or-die must-win Game 2. They have been rocked by these threes that quietened this crowd down the final stretch and saw Chiba Jets through to the finish. Captain Clutch sealing the deal in Game 1. They have to pick themselves back up off the canvas now, dust themselves off to go again. UTSUNOMIYA BREX with all of the pressure heaped on them. These fans will try and help them out in that game tomorrow. It is now a must-win for the best team in the regular season to avoid their season coming to an end. Better field goal percentages inside and out for the Chiba Jets tonight. They also had the advantage in rebounds and offensive rebounds. We talked about the turnover count at 10-8. They had 2 fewer turnovers, the same number of assists. I've got 16-16 on my stats. It was an excellent display. They also had those 26 points from the bench, 8 more than the BREX bench. And they won the game in the end by 12, 70-82. Really impressive performance, about as good as it gets, particularly this season. The Chiba Jets, who are looking like the Chiba Jets of last season, as they take the lead in this best-of-3 quarter-final series. 2 of the quarterfinals getting going today. As we take a look at the game leaders for both teams in scoring. Newbill 15, but held below his usual efficiency. Now to 5 of 11 shooting. Edwards with 13 points was held to 4 of 10 shooting. And Hiyajima on 10 points was held to 4 of 11. Look at the rebound leaders. 2 players flirting with double-doubles. 9 rebounds, including 5 offensive rebounds for Edwards. 9 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds for Mooney. Assists were spread about between the 2 teams. Newbill and Togashi leading the way with 4 respectively. Now out and out individual creators, just a team effort moving the ball, particularly for Chiba Jets with those 16 assists coming with only 8 turnovers. This arena clearing out rather quickly. It'll be packed again tomorrow as we see the final head-to-head between those 2 players, and it was Togashi who stole the spotlight on the big stage of the playoffs. From me, Tim Long, it's been a pleasure for your company for this Game 1. We'll see you for Game 2 tomorrow.
したんですけど、これを